Hello everyone, this is Paul. Welcome to A Common Touch of Fantasy, and today is Comic Book Day. Woo! Every Wednesday is Comic Book Day, and it's just one of the best days of the week. You know, it's always something to look forward to each week. I made triple sure that my microphone was turned up to 100% this time, so the issues I had with yesterday's video should be fixed, hopefully. Basically what this is that I talk about comic books, I talk about the comic books I read, I talk about the new releases. I go to midtowncomics.com, check out the new releases for comics, and then kind of talk about the comics I got today as well, and just kind of learn about comics, and just kind of have a discussion about comics. If anyone joins in the chat live, please go ahead and just talk in the chat, just chat it up a little bit. Let me know what you're reading, what you got today, what is your favorite run right now, and just let me know. So we're going to start off with talking about a few comics that I read from last week. I didn't get to talk really about my reviews of the comics I read last week, so we're going to go with that right up front. The first thing I want to talk about is Green Lanterns. This is issue number 3. Now, issue number 3 was very odd. The reason why is because this corner right here, see all those people that worked on this one comic? That is quite a bit. That means there were multiple artists. And when you have multiple artists, things get overlooked and issues happen. For example, look at this here. On this page here, this villain has this outfit on. It's like basically just a bikini almost, right? The next scene, she has this on, which is what she usually wears. And it's very weird. So the art in this was all over the place. Some scenes were good, other scenes were bad. I'm not feeling Green Lanterns at all. This was the last issue I was going to give it because I knew there was a battle scene and some plot in this issue. I wanted to give it one more try. And as much as I like the idea of having a Green Lantern female that has anxiety issues, they didn't write it very well, and I just did not enjoy it. And also, the two Green Lanterns fight nonstop, so I'm not feeling it. Green Lanterns, I'm going to stop my run with that. I gave this issue a 2. Justice League, the very first actual issue of Justice League, the art is really good. I might have shown some last week if I remember right. This is the first page. Look at this picture of Wonder Woman diving in. Pretty cool. And I really like the art. Basically, around the world, there is this giant earthquake happening in different parts of the world. And our heroes are trying to save everybody. Then the survivors start saying weird things to our Justice League individuals, like they have stolen their powers. And so someone else might have actually had the powers that some of these individuals have. Maybe it's like kind of an origin story of how like Aquaman got his powers and different things like that. Those are all covered in their own respectable series. There might be something a little bit more. This wasn't that bad. There wasn't much story. I did like seeing all the different Justice League people in different places in the world, and I thought the art was cool. The story hasn't really taken off yet, and I'm going to wait for the story to really get into it. So I'm going to keep giving this a try. I gave that issue a 3. Superman, this is issue number 3 of Superman. Let me just say that the art by Jimenez, I think it's Jesus Jimenez, or Jorge, I think it's Jorge Jimenez, is spectacular. Look at this spread page. Like, that is beautiful. In this issue, Eradicator comes back, and once again, it's all about Clark helping his son, trying to figure out what's with John's powers, John being his son. Why do his powers work sometimes, and why do they not work other times? It's very interesting. It's really a backstory issue for Eradicator as well. You get to know more about him and him as a villain. I just like the art a lot, and I think that they're building a story here that's going to transcend where it started. I think that it's just a good story. It's going slow, but it's just working. And I just love the colors. The colors. So yeah. I think I gave this one a 4, I believe. I'm really liking Superman. It's on my pull list and something I'm really enjoying now. Even though at the beginning I wasn't a huge fan. Green Arrow, number 3. The best comic I read from last week. Fantastic. I gave this a 5 out of 5. Green Arrow is killing it. The action scenes at the end here with this chase scene is beautiful. The art is fantastic in this issue. It's by Ferreira, and I think it's a guest artist, and I just love it to death. And the story is very interesting. It's kind of like a redemption story where Oliver Queen loses all of his possible fortune, and he learns that people have backstabbed him, and people that he thought were his friends are not his friends. And it's just a great story so far, and I love it. It's my favorite of all the Rebirth titles. Green Arrow. I definitely picked this up. Hey Miranda. Yeah, if you've never read Superman, you can start with the Rebirth of Superman, the Rebirth issues that just came out. That's what I did. I've never read any of these. I'm a comic noob, and I started with these Rebirth issues. There's a little bit of information from previous generations of Superman, but you learn relatively quick what's going on. So, thanks for stopping by as well, Miranda. Appreciate it. Let's talk about my second favorite thing that I've read last week, and that is from Image Comics. It is The Hunt. The creator, the writer, and the illustrator is all Colin Lorimer, and it is this horror, extremely spooky, very unsettling vibe to this whole thing. It's all in Italy. It takes place in Italy, and it's all about, it takes place in Ireland, and it's all about Irish folklore, and it's very cool. It's so unsettling. The art is beautiful. I'm not going to show you the most amazing picture ever, because I think it's something that you should check out. Yeah, Miranda, I'm glad you enjoyed The Hunt. It was so good. I don't want to show that first big spread page, because if you guys end up picking it up, I want you to be really surprised, because it's really cool. The art is beautiful. The story is very melancholy, and it just has a very unsettling vibe. If you like horror, graphic novels, horror comics, check out The Hunt from Image. I gave this a 4. It was fantastic. It can only get better, probably. And I think it might be Image's next big horror run, and people are going to love it. I think a lot of booktubers will like it. Another comic from Image is Birthright. This is the first issue. I got this for $1. It's the Image first. Image has $1 first issues at your local comic book stores. It's very easy to get into series this way and try them out and see what you like. I really enjoyed this a lot. The art is really cool. It's basically a story of a young boy that goes missing when he's very young. His family is torn up about it. He gets transported to this fantasy land where he's prophesied to be the one to be the leader to kill the big bad. And what happens is, a year later in our world, this guy with this big sword and all this armor shows up at the police station. See this guy over here? And it ends up being the boy that was missing. Only a year later, it ends up being him. And he's back from that fantasy world to protect our world. But the last page really sells it. And it's not what you think it is. And it's really good. I gave this Birthright a 4. If you like fantasy comics, check out that from Image. I like that quite a bit. Oh, the dog's trying to break in my room. Give me 1 second. I forgot to latch my door. Alright, moving on from that. That's what I read from last week that I really enjoyed. Now, let's move on to this week, guys. Alright, here we go. We are at midtowncomics.com. These are the new releases for this week, July 27th, 2016. And I'm just going to look at stuff that is interesting to me. Miranda, if you see something that you want me to look at, let me know. And anybody else that's watching. Alright, so Dark Horse is listed first. We have, let's see here, Baltimore Empty Graves, Bounty number 2, Lady Killer number 2, Conan. Yeah. Let's check out Baltimore Empty Graves, because this weird photo. Baltimore Empty Graves by Mike Magnolia and Christopher Golden, artist Peter Bergtang. After the blood-red witch disappears with Baltimore, Sophia and the others must fend off her followers while Rose and Kid follow a new lead to find the witch and save Baltimore. Interesting. Just kind of something to put in the back of my mind. Baltimore Empty Graves. Huh. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed Snot Girl, Miranda. I've heard very good things about it. People thinking it's one thing, but it ends up being something completely different. And I think that's really cool. DC. We have Aquaman, Volume 6, number 4. So we have the 4th issue of Aquaman. I am not really into Aquaman. But yeah, this is the regular cover right here. Looks like he's in shackles or cuffs. Part 4 of The Drowning. Aquaman is arrested for a war crime he didn't commit, ordering an Atlantean terrorist attack on the surface, killing hundreds. Ooh. The young king is willing to sit behind bars if it means peace between two worlds. But one ally is determined to break Aquaman out, no matter the cost. His girlfriend, Mara. The writer is Dan Abnett, artist Philip Briones. Cool. Aquaman and the new Justice League movie, I think is actually cool. It's the guy from Game of Thrones that played the Horse Lord King, Khal Drogo. That guy, he's playing Aquaman in a movie. I think it looks cool. I think that part looks cool. The rest of the trailer, not so much. Anyways, Batman Beyond Volume 5, number 15 came out. Batman Volume 3, number 4 came out. issue number 4. I Am Gotham Part 4. When Gotham City falls prey to true evil, will Batman be abandoned by the new heroes Gotham and Gotham Girl? The Dark Knight must decide who to entrust with the safety of his beloved city if he hopes for any of its citizens to survive. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Miranda. I did not know that the 4th issue came out of Batman. I thought that was last week. Huh. Bloodlines number 5. The Devil You Know. Dark Knight 3, The Master Race. Another DC Universe Rebirth special number 1. Another printing with a different cover. Wait, am I on the right thing? No, I'm not. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was looking at next week's. Okay. Well, you saw a couple of the comics from next week's. Why is that not working? 727. Okay, the link up here that I was using did not work properly. Alright, now to the regular list. I'm sorry. But you got a couple looks at what's going on next week, so hey. Dark Horse, we have Cryptocracy. Let's check out what that is. Cryptocracy. Cryptocracy. There it goes. Cryptocracy. That's it. Number 2 by Van Jensen. Art by Pete Woods. 9 families have ruled civilization from the shadows for time beyond memory. But now, for the first time, they are being hunted. Ooh. Family leaders begrudgingly forge an alliance to discover the hunter's identity, but in so doing only place themselves in more danger. Interesting. That actually seems kind of cool. New Tomb Raider from Dark Horse. Trade paperback of Dragon Age Volume 1, Mage Killer. I've heard some people enjoy the Dragon Age trade paperbacks. Okay, here we go. DC Action Comics number 960. Yes, by writer Dan Jurgens, artist Tyler Kirkman. Yes. Path to Doom, Chapter 4. Wonder Woman joins the fight, but even her added might can't slow down Doomsday's rampage. As Superman comes face to face with the woman who once loved him, the Man of Tomorrow must also wrestle with the reappearance of Clark Kent. Okay, I just read this right before the live show and loved it. Absolutely loved it. It is fantastic. Once again, Action Comics is just it's all about the action because it's called Action Comics, obviously. But this one has more story and more dialogue than the previous ones. So basically, Doomsday is back, and this is the 4th issue of Superman fighting Doomsday. In this issue, Wonder Woman comes in to help. There is Lex Luthor as a Superman wannabe. There is another Clark Kent. And there's a lot of questions, but it is really cool. The art is fantastic. I love it. This, along with Superman, the actual Superman run, is fantastic. Like the stories of Superman right now are some of the best that DC are putting out. Very cool. I really like it. Doomsday, Superman fighting him. Classic Superman. Very good. A lot of action. If you like Action Comics, if you like, them throwing buses, throwing buildings, and all that type of stuff, check out Action Comics. You won't be disappointed. Yeah, you start with the Rebirth. So when you go to the comic book store, I think the first one is $9.56, and it'll have like the Rebirth blue thing at the top. So that starts the whole Rebirth issues. Really good. Really like it a lot. Batgirl number 1 came out. This is by Hope Larson and artist Raphael Albuquerque. I've heard mixed things about this. They're basically making Batgirl a uh, younger girl again, and she's battling other younger girls that are like schoolgirls and stuff like that. And she's battling someone that's selling phones that has naked pictures of people on it. It's not really my thing. It's mainly for younger female readers right now to get into DC, to enjoy Batgirl. But they made her a lot younger in this version of Batgirl, just so everyone knows. Deathstroke, Volume 3, Number 20. Detective Comics. Oh, I gotta change back. I'm sorry. Detective Comics Volume 2, number 937. I got this one as well today. I'm really enjoying this. Writer James Tynion IV, artist Alvaro Martinez, Raul Fernandez. Rise of the Batman, Chapter 4. Batman's found his way into the heart of the colony, the mysterious new organization cutting its way through Gotham City. Unfortunately, now that he's in, he may find there's no way out. This is the only one really that I did not get to today. I tried to read this before I started, but I just didn't have the time. Mainly because I went to watch Star Trek Beyond, which was pretty good, but the shaky cam really bothered me. This is kind of what Detective Comics looks like. Great artist, and it's one of the better Rebirth runs. Batman is kidnapped right now. The team that he put together of Batwoman, Clayface, Robin, and a couple other individuals are trying to go and save him. And it's just a very interesting story about kind of like an X-Men type team of Batman individuals coming together to fight a larger foe. And I'm looking forward to reading that one. And it seems it's pretty good so far. Okay. Dr. Fate, number 4. Volume 4, number 14. Flash, Volume 5, number 3. New Flash is out. This is by Joshua Williamson. Art is by Carmine D. and Dean. Yeah, that. Lightning strikes twice, Chapter 3, in issue number 3. Dozens of innocent people mysteriously gain super speed, but not all are heroic. And it'll take everything the Flash and August have to harness the lightning before Black Hole does. If you're a Flash fan, I've heard that the new Flash is decent, pretty good. I haven't tried it yet. I might try it in the future, but I haven't gotten there yet. The first issue of Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps came out. I've heard this is pretty good. I probably am not going to get it unless it gets like amazing. Writer Robert Venditti, artist Rafael Sandoval and Jordi Tarragona. Sinistro's Law, Chapter 1, with no backup and only his ring and battery to keep him alive. How Jordan streaks toward battle with the Sinistro Corps while his greatest foe prepares to wipe the last Green Lantern of them all out of existence. Yep. So if you're a Green Lantern fan, I think that Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps is going to be better than the Green Lanterns. So if you're a Green Lantern person, I think this is the one you probably should get over the Green Lanterns. Here we go. We have Harley Quinn in the Suicide Squad. This is Harley Quinn's first issue. And this is a special edition. This 40-page comic reprints the Harley... Oh, this is a reprint. The Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad's April Fool's Special number 1. So it's a reprint of this April Fool's edition. So if you didn't grab that and you want to grab that, you should get that. Number 30 of Harley Quinn came out. If you're a Harley Quinn fan, they're restarting Harley Quinn soon with the Rebirth issues. So, yeah. Nightwing. New Nightwing. Number 1 came out. Tim Seeley, Javier Fernandez. This is basically. I looked at the art. I didn't really care for the art all that much. Um, Batman taught Nightwing everything he knows, but what if everything he taught him was wrong? When Dick is stuck with a new mentor who challenges everything Batman taught him, Nightwing has to shatter his concept of justice in order to fight for what he knows is right. So yeah, if you liked Grayson or Batman and Robin, previous New 52, you probably would like Nightwing. Red Hood and the Outlaws, the first Rebirth issue. This is the one-shot issue. Came out. Red Hood. So if you like reading about one of the villains of the DC world, Red Hood's out. Scooby-Doo, Teen Titans, number 22 from the previous generation. That's going to be starting new again with Rebirth pretty soon. In fact, here is Titans, Volume 3, number 1, the very first issue of Titans from DC with the Rebirth. Remember the Titans, Chapter 1. After an old ally returns to the team, the Titans set their sights on a dangerous enemy with the power to change reality itself. Pretty cool. I think Titans is one of the things that the big universe of DC is kind of going through, that and Flash. So if you like the whole like meta large DC universe thing, you should check that out. Third issue of Wonder Woman came out. Greg Rucka is writing this. I tried to get into Wonder Woman. I got 2 or 3 issues, I think, and I got 2 issues, and I don't know. It just seems all over the place because it's like 2 parallel storylines, and I'm just not feeling it. Red Thorn 9. Oh, you looked for the Scooby-Doo Apocalypse? That's cool, Miranda. That's funny. Some trades came out. We have Batman Detective Comics, Volume 7 from the New 52, the trade. Volume 8 as well. That's the hardcover. Demon Volume 2 to trade. New Suicide Squad for the New 52, Volume 3 is out. So if you collect trades, a lot of these are out. New Teen Titans, Volume 5, trade paperback, Suicide Squads, The Silver Age Omnibus, Volume 1 hardcover. Wow, it's $43. Alright, let's move on to the other things here. IDW, we have Action Man. G.I. Joe. Never read a G.I. Joe comic. Hunter S. Thompson's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, number 3. I did not even know this was a thing. Look at that art. Writer Troy Little, artist Troy Little, by IDW Publishing. It's basically his Gonzo adaptation of Hunter Thomas's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. That's cool. Alright. Jump in the holograms. Judge Dredd, number 8. My Little Pony. There's a lot of people that read the My Little Pony comics. I mean, whatever. If it's your thing, if you enjoy it, it's fine. Transformers. Yep. Image. Here we go with Image. Aloha, Hawaiian Dick, number 4 came out. Autumnlands, Tooth and Claw. Does anyone read Autumnlands? Because I want to know if it's really good. Let me know if you read Autumnlands in the comments, if you do. Kurt Busiek, because I want to try it. It's basically a fantasy series from Image. Beauty, number 9. Drifter, number 13. And also, does anyone read East of West? Jonathan Hickman. I've heard this is amazing. I need to try it. This is like a sci-fi series from Image. Jupiter's Legacy, Volume 2, number 1. I've heard this is interesting as well. This is kind of, I don't know, I think this is fantasy as well. It's here. The sequel to Industry Sales Beast Jupiter's Legacy is back, and it boasts monthly Frank Quitely. Superhero offspring Hutch and Chloe have come out of hiding with son Jason to assemble a team of super crooks from around the globe. Interesting. Thief of Thieves. I've heard this is a good series as well. Andy Diggle. It's all about following thieves and what they're doing. It sounds like something I would love. I should have checked this out at the store. I didn't do it. I forgot. Mechanism #1. This is writer Raphael Lenko, and he also is the artist. In the aftermath of an alien invasion, a prototype military robot is rushed into the field before it is combat ready. Now attached to a group of survivors, it studies them to learn what it means to be human. Will it come to understand man as a noble creature worth preserving, or that the human race isn't worth saving at all? This sounds really good. It's definitely sci-fi. Image Raphael Ainko. That's cool. It's from Top Crow. Image Top Crow. Very cool. I might try that next time I go to the store. Not sure. Here we go. From Marvel, we have the all new, all different Avengers. Number 12. If you're an Avengers fan. This is by Mark Waid. Amazing Spider-Man, Volume 4, 1.6. Amazing Grace, Part 6. This is by Jorge Molina. This is the ending of Amazing Grace. The run there. Cool. Black Panther comes out. I think there was a new number 4. Is this it? Yes. Number 4 issue of Black Panther came out. I am very curious to read this because Ta-Nehisi Coates writes this, and he is a well-known African-American writer, and I think that Black Panther is one of the most important Marvel books right now, and the movie is going to be insane. The amount of stars in this movie is amazing, and it's going to be great for the African-American community. I am probably going to get the trade when the trade comes out of Black Panther. It comes out at the end of next month, or maybe it's beginning of September, I believe. Alright, here we go. Captain America, Steve Rogers, number 3. I got this today and read this. This is by Nick Spencer, artist Jesus Saez. Alright. Alright, let's go ahead and put up the spoiler thing, just in case people don't want to know what's going on in the new Captain America, Steve Rogers. A lot of people already know. But anyways, in this, Steve Rogers is in Hydra, basically the cube that the Red Skull had from the previous event with the Avengers and Captain America and Sam Wilson has changed the past, and now Captain America is in Hydra really secretly. The art is good. I enjoyed this, but my problem is that Nick Spencer is not a funny guy, and Nick Spencer tries to make jokes in the middle of this comic, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work, and it's so stupid. It makes me cringe. He made this Mariah Carey thing. It was so out of place and weird. I don't know. But anyways, Captain America can't let anyone know that he's actually working for Hydra. And yeah, it was good. It's not amazing. I'm gonna give it a 3. We'll see where it goes. I'm being optimistic, but the really cringy dialogue just did not work for me, but hopefully it gets better. Captain Marvel, number 7. This is a Civil War tie-in. Captain Marvel is killing it. If you like female superheroes, check this out. Writer Christos and Gage and Ruth Gage, and art by Chris Anka. Carnage Volume 2, number 10. Alright, let's check out Civil War issue number 4. Brian Michael Bendis and David Marquez. Hi, Christine. I never know where to jump into Marvel series. I want to, but the storylines starts don't seem clear. Yeah, I definitely understand that. I personally am jumping in. I jumped in with the Civil War 2 event, and so I just jumped in with that, with just this, and then I jumped in with the Steve Rogers Captain America because it just started. One thing that you should know is that in the fall, they're actually re-releasing a lot of Marvel comics, and there will be a lot of number 1 issues out. Yeah, I think that for me, I think the things that I enjoy the most of Marvel is the diversity. I think that Miss Marvel is amazing. I think that Captain Marvel is really good. The Vision is good, and things of that nature. And I think these big events are good. But yeah, wait for this fall. There's going to be a lot of number 1s coming out. It'll be pretty clear of where you jump in and everything else. And you can also check out Marvel Unlimited and check that out online. You can pay a small fee. I think you can do the first month for free, actually, and you can try out a bunch of old Marvel comics, including some from this generation here. I think Miss Marvel on there has like 15 different issues, so you can check out that. It's pretty cool. I have Unlimited as well, and I just like it. I like it a lot. I don't use it enough, but I should be using it more. And also, I mean, your library system too. You know, check out some of the old events like Secret Wars or Civil War, stuff like that. Okay, moving on. Let's go on to issue number 4 of Civil War 2. I'm going to put up the little spoilers thing in case anyone doesn't want to know. Let's start out by saying that the art in these it's just killing it. Check out this spread at the beginning here. This is Morales as Spider-Man here in this thing. It's just a great scene. And there's so many amazing character scenes in this. And basically the whole thing with Civil War 2 is that there's this Inhuman that can see the future, can prophesy the future and what's going to happen. Tony doesn't like it because he thinks it takes away free will to go and arrest people before they even commit the crime or before something happens. They find out that Bruce Banner is going to go crazy as the Hulk, and Hawkeye actually, spoilers, Hawkeye actually kills Bruce Banner, kills the Hulk, and then they go to court, and Hawkeye gets off, and Iron Man is mad. They basically choose sides, and we have the individuals that want to use this Inhuman to stop things, to save people, even though there might possibly just be a small chance of that. And then they have individuals against them, setting up like this huge event of people being against each other. This was great. This was probably the best issue of Civil War 2 yet. I'm going to give this a 4. It was fantastic. What's great about this is the talk about virtues in this comic, the talk about philosophy, and if knowing the future and trying to change it, or is the future not planned out? It's just really good, and there's a lot of great character moments, and the art gives those character moments a real special touch because the facial expressions of the characters actually change, and it's really cool. Moving on. Alright, so 40 minutes. I need to move on a little bit more. Civil War number 2. A bunch of alternate things. Extraordinary X-Men number 12. This is by Jeff Lemire. This Extraordinary X-Men, I think that's the one that has a bunch of like really different X-Men in it. Pretty cool. Howard the Duck. Very cool. International Iron Man number 5. Brian Michael Bendis. Art by Alex Maleev. I've heard this is pretty good. The guy at the comic book store tried to sell this to me today. Mighty Thor number 9. If you like your female Thor, this Jason Aaron run is amazing. I need to read it. I haven't read any of it yet, but I've heard it's really good. Artist Russell Dotterman. Jason Aaron's relatively popular. Mockingbird number 5. Writer Chelsea Kane. Artist Kate Niemczyk. I wish I had the money to buy a ton of Marvel things, but I don't. Yeah, I should start making them an hour. They're getting there. Ms. Marvel, number 9. This is a Civil War 2 tie-in. Writer G. Willow Wilson. Artist Takashi Miyogawa. Miss Marvel is awesome. Old Man Logan, number 9. Do not get the Force Awakens comic book adaptation. It is the movie. There's nothing new. Totally Awesome Hulk, number 9. There's a Civil War tie-in. True Believers. True Believers is a way for them to sell number 1 issues and different special issues for only $1. So it's great to pick them up and try some different series. Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, number 10. Writer Ryan North, artist Erica Henderson. Unbeatable Squirrel Girl is relatively popular. Uncanny Avengers. Here we go. Trade paperbacks. A-Force. Here we go. Captain Marvel Volume 1. The trade paperback is out. I want to get this. Writer Michelle Fazekas and Tara Butters. Artist Chris Anka. So the art is really imaginative and really different. We have a female creation team, and Captain Marvel is one of the most important heroes right now in the Marvel world. Rocket Raccoon and Groot, Volume 1. Uncanny X-Men, Volume 6. Trade paperback. X-23, Volume 1, trade paperback. So yeah. Let's see. Independence. Let's see if there's anything here. 451. Let's go down to Valiant. I think Valiant's a good studio, other than the big 3. Here we go. Valiant. 401 AD, number 3 came out. Writer Matt Kent. Matt Kent's a huge person over at Valiant. Looks like a mech series. Cool. Divinity, number 4. This is like their big Civil War 2 like thing. Big event. book. This is a great place to try Valiant books. Number 4, Divinity 2. This is Matt Kintz doing this. Artist Trevor Hairsign. I really want to try Divinity. I would start with Divinity 1. Exo Man of War, number 48. This is one of their flagship comics. Robert Venditti, artist Joe Bennett. Yep, and that's it from Valiant. So, there we go. Then looks like that's all we have for today. I really enjoyed doing the comic book. I guess it's a comic book almost hour, 45 minutes. Had a good time. For this week, I think my favorite is Action Comics. It's going to win my pick of the week. And I really enjoyed it. From last week, my pick of the week was Green Arrow number 3. So yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed it that watched, and I hope everyone has a great reading week and you get to try out some awesome comics. And I hope everyone enjoyed this. Give me feedback in the comments. Let me know what you're reading, what you're enjoying. Just talk about some comics in the comments. Talk about comics in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.